Near mint condition, the home of collected editions. Oh my gosh, look at that panel of Batman. You have the absolute, you have the deluxe. DC Comics firing on all cylinders. I am the Knight. I am the Uncanny Omar. How's it going, everybody? We, today at Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, are going to go over my top 10 most wanted Batman Omnibus editions. That's right. Today, I'm going to talk about those Dark Knight Cape Crusader books and Bat Family books I would love to see DC Comics put together in omnibus format. So join me. And welcome back, everybody. As promised, I said I would do Batman and then later a Superman top 10. But today we are going to be talking about the Dark Knight. So please don't forget to smash that like button. This is, again, my top 10 most wanted Batman, Bat Family, Omnis. I would love to know what your top 10 are. I've been doing this for a few years now. If you want to go back and see what I've had on the list. And if you want to go back and see what I've had on the list, and it actually got made. It's crazy how much things have changed and keep changing in collected editions. I love it. We are truly living in the golden age of the collected editions. All right. So, without further ado, it is a countdown. So we're starting at number 10, going all the way to number 1. I do put the list in the description of the video in case you were wondering. If you want to just check out the list, no, watch the video. But I do put the mapping here too. Let's start. Birds of Prey by Chuck Dixon Omnibus Volume 1 is what's kicking off the list. We know we're getting a Birds of Prey by Gail Simone Omnibus. This is the stuff that precedes it, and we would need actually 2 Omnis of this that lead into that Gail Simone era. This I want to kick off with those miniseries and one-shots that kind of make, or I guess form, the team of the Birds of Prey. It's very important to note that during this time, it's not really Huntress that's a part of the team, but it's mainly Black Canary and Oracle. Catwoman for a while, she comes and goes. Eventually Ted Cord, Blue Beetle. But other characters come and go through here. It's not like that set team that Gail Simone did. A lot of great artwork in here from Gary Frank, and just a wonderful introduction to these characters and how they come together to fight crime and solve murder mysteries. I love this stuff, and I hope you've had a chance to read it. DC hasn't fully collected this even in trade paperback. They started to. I think we got a total of 3 volumes of Chuck Dixon's era. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll get it in omnibus format. Number 9, for the first time here, is Batman Confidential. This was a series that ran for 54 issues, so this would be a thickie. But hey, we've had the Arkham Omnibus collected, so we know they can make them big. The first story arc is done by Andy Diggle and Will Spertasio. Eventually, it's like Femini Ciesa comes in here and does some stuff. Michael Green with Dennis Cohen, Rag Morales, Tony Bedard, Kevin McGuire, Scott McDaniel. And what is this exactly? Well, what this is it's kind of like Legends of the Dark Knight. It features stories that focus on Batman and post year 1, but pretty much like him just rolling solo and showcasing moments of the character's past and first encounters with not just villains, but also allies. Kind of like a retelling and modernization of those encounters. And again, ran for like 54 issues. I think there's a Christina Weir and Nunzio de Phillips issue in there with Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. But just wonderful creators coming in and writing the story set in Batman's past before the whole Bat family. And this is, again, like after Legends of the Dark Knight. This is around 2006 when that came out. Or I guess 2007. Catwoman by Will Pfeiffer Omnibus. I know this has been on here before. But what this is it's the stories after Ed Brubaker's run. So if you enjoyed Ed Brubaker's run, with Darwin Cook and Paul Gulacci, this is the stuff that follows it up, and to me it's just as fun. It's got, of course, Will Pfeiffer writing the stories, a lot of artwork in here from David Lopez, and it features the character of Selena Kyle. But something happens after Infinite Crisis where they do a 1 year later, and there's a new Catwoman. And this stuff, like Selena Kyle stuff, has been collected in trade, but the stuff that happens after Infinite Crisis A lot of it hasn't been collected in trade paperback. So I would love to see that. And then, of course, the big fight with Black Mask. And I'm including Win and Roman here because it hasn't been collected in omnibus format. Well, not yet. And also double dipping a little bit because that's what's going to happen with like Batman Confidential. All right, Red Robin Omnibus. Oh my gosh, this stuff has been out of print in trade paperback. They never did fatties. Like, Stephanie Brown's Batgirl has had 2 printings of those fat trades. And they were also collected in skinny trades. This only had skinny trades, and that's it. And I'm going to include the Battle for the Cowl in here because I think it is very important when this era was taking place. Because this is when Bruce Wayne was gone for a while, missing in action, if you will. And we have Dick Grayson becoming the new Batman, with Damian Wayne as the new Robin. So where does that leave Tim Drake? That's what this is. It is Chris Yost writing the stories, of course, from X-Men Evolution television, wrote Thor Ragnarok movie scripts, and also, of course, gave us X-23 and New X-Men, and, of course, X-Force, one of the best series that they put out at Marvel, and now writing this character and Fabian Nicieza as well. It even includes the crossover with Batgirl in here. If you haven't had a chance to read it, oh, it's so good. But we need it back in print, or we need some kind of big collection of it. Gotham Academy Omnibus. I just read Strange Academy, and it just melts my heart. I love stories like that. I don't know. I always like these young adult type of stories, and I think we need more of it. And the fact that we've had Runaways and we've had Strange Academy from Marvel gives me hope that DC sees that and they give us something like this. And, of course, we still need, like, Avengers Initiative and Avengers Academy. But anyway, Gotham Academy is all about these kids. It's written by Becky Cloonan, of course. It's got Carl Keschel and Brendan Fletcher. But it's about these kids that go to school in Gotham City. It's like a private school. It's a prestige school. And they get into trouble. That's it. There's like drama, teenage drama. So it's stories like that. But of course, with that whole understanding that this is taking place in Gotham City, one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And I absolutely love it. Number 5, Harley Quinn, The Early Years. We've seen a DC finest of this kind of stuff collected. And now I want it in omnibus format because we've had the New 52 era collected in omnibus format. And I don't know, I find this stuff interesting, and it's been printed in trade. It's been printed in the Deluxe edition. Of course, I wanted to start with the Paul Dini stuff, but I also want all the other stuff by Carl Kessel and Terry Dodson collected in there. Bruce Timm, that stuff in oversized format. I would love to see that. So what I've got here, how I have it mapped, is all the way up until issue number 38. And then again, this is the stuff that takes place before the New 52. So this is the stuff that actually happens after her first appearance during No Man's Land. I actually have both of these on the list? What the hell? Okay. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Omnibus, Volume 1. I said I wanted Batman Confidential. That's only 54 issues. That can be done all in one. But Batman Legends of the Dark Knight is a must. This got voted very high on our list, and I agree. I mean, this, again, it's one of those period pieces, right? After the popularity of Tim Burton's 1989 Batman, we had Batman and Detective Comics. This is the third title. And with the third title, they decided to do something unique. They decided to make it a period piece, to take place back in time after year 1 when Batman was still rolling solo. You're going to have phenomenal stories in here if you haven't had a chance to read them. Oh my god, there's a reason why this went to 214 issues. Eventually, yes, Legends of the Dark Knight would become a part of, like, modern day Batman storytelling, and it would just become the 4th title after Shadow of the Bat that takes place, like, crossovers and all that. But there was a time when the stories in here, like Shaman, were taking place in the past. Venom, oh man. So in here, you're going to find the work of Mike Mignola, Bill Willingham, Matt Wagner, Marshall Rogers, Doug Minch, Alan Grant, Archie Goodwin, Grant Morrison, Dennis O'Neil, Dwayne McDuffie, Chuck Dixon, just to name a few of the creators that worked on this book. It's Shaman and, oh my gosh, Venom. Like, the beginning of the whole Venom thing started here. Number 3, I can't believe this beat it out, but I put a lot of thought into this list, moving things around, by the way. Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy by G. Willow Wilson, Omnibus Volume 1. It's still ongoing, and I don't care. I want it in a big format. Mainly, And that is mainly due to artist Marcio Takara. And not the only artist, right? There's other artists that work on the book, but that art is beautiful. Atagun Ilhan, but G. Willow Wilson's story is absolutely beautiful. I love this redemption for somebody that's like it's really difficult to write a story about someone that murders people. Sometimes for fun, sometimes because they have to. And it's like the minute you start feeling sorry for them, they do something sleazy that you're like, oh, shoot, I'm still reading about a villain. Kind of the feelings that you get from watching like things like The Sopranos or Breaking Bad. It's not unique in the way that, you know, we're telling a story about somebody that should not be liked or looked up to, but it still works because you find the supporting cast or you find the situations like a connection with them, and that's why I enjoy this. This blew me away. My buddy Bart actually bought me the first couple of volumes, and we did an old reader, new reader, and I was like, what is this series even about? How can it be taking place? Because it takes place after a whole Fear State thing. Anyway, blew me away. It was amazing, and I hope you all have been reading it. If you haven't been reading it, it's awesome. Number 2, The Question, Renee Montoya, Omnibus. We have the original Vic Savage, like, The Question fully collected now. Well, not fully, because I actually start this off with, or I wanted to add a couple of things in here, like the Convergence stuff. But this is the story, pretty much, of Greg Rucka going, okay, I really like Renee Montoya. I really liked her in Gotham Central. I want to continue writing the character. And something happens during the 52, the 52... That's what it was called, not the new 52. I know it gets a little confusing. But it's the Aftermath weekly stories in the events of Infinite Crisis. So it goes Infinite Crisis, then 52 to find out what happened in that 1 year that we skipped because we have that whole 1 year later. I talked about that when talking about Catwoman. Man, there's a lot of comic book history. But anyway, she becomes the new Question, and there's a reason why. And I love the way that Greg Rucka continues it because it's like, oh, I'm just going to, she doesn't have an ongoing series, I'm just going to write a bunch of miniseries that features her character and her progression. I love this stuff and completely needs to be collected in omnibus format. She's an amazing character and Greg Rucka kills it. Not everything in here is by him, but it's, oh man, that crime Bible, The 5 Lessons of Blood alone is so good. It's so dark. Number 1. Probably saw this one coming, but it's been on here so many times for so many years. Batman the Cape Crusader Omnibus. I could have called it Batman the Cape Crusader and Dark Knight Omnibus, but no. Yes, this is what I want. I've been wanting this for years. This is the stuff, yes, it's a huge book, I know. This is the stuff that is post-Crisis on Infinite Earths. Begins with year 1. And it's kind of the way that the DC Finest are being mapped. I love that, by the way. I love that both Marvel and DC decided, okay, X-Men at one point in 1991 kind of became a big story. Uncanny and Adjectiveless belong in the same book because they're telling stories of 2 different teams, but it's connected. DC thought the same thing during the DC Finest mapping and said, okay, Batman and Detective Comics are telling a big story, and they cross over from time to time. And yes, Batman has year 1, Detective Comics sometimes has year 2, and then we have the year 3, but the stories are connected, and we need to find a way to put them together. As much as I love Batman being collected in omnibus format, as much as I love X-Men being collected in omnibus format, when you get to these creator-centric books, I feel like the mapping kind of gets hurt, and the readers suffer a little bit. Oh, suffer is a big word. That is first world problems. It's just like it feels like you're missing out on something if not everything is collected. And because creator-centric books like Batman by Mariko Tamaki, for example, it's just one of the ones I thought of. Like the other part by Matthew Rosenberg is not collected in there because he wrote that, not Mariko Tamaki. Same thing with like Batman by Tom King. When we get to these creator-centric books, Tomasi's Batman, it skips issues. To play it safe, this era doesn't have to be Batman by Jim Starlin, Batman by Alan Grant, Batman by Mike W. Barr. It could just be Batman the Cape Crusader, and they can put the stories together. So yes, you are going to have some Jim Aparo, my favorite Batman artist, Jim Starlin in here, Mike DiCarlo, of course, Alan Davis, Mike W. Barr, Paul Neary, Todd McFarlane doing some of these. It's like Norm Brayfogle, one of the greatest artists gone way too soon. But yes, that's what I want, collected in a proper reading order by story arcs, not by issues. And when and if these books ever get made, check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. That was my top 10 most wanted Batman Omnis. I would love to know what your top 10, what you voted for were, if you were just interested in Batman and the Bat family. Were you surprised I didn't put Nightwing in here? Well, we got the compendium. It'll be back, I'm sure. I do want a Nightwing by Chuck Dixon Omnibus. I do. There's a lot of things that I want that didn't make it on the list. Like, I've had Manhunter on the list before. I love that character, and I would love to see Marco Andreyko's character back in Omnibus format. But this time around, in 2025, that was my list. That's it, everybody. Stay healthy and safe out there. Keep an eye out for Cowboy Omar coming back next week.